Hello, and welcome to the Edifice of Trust podcast. The Edifice of Trust podcast is a thoughtful discussion of today's current events from the perspective of America's founding principles. Hello, everyone. It is important that we prepare for the eventuality of a post-Trump world. It is important, but not sufficient. Our first order of business must be to survive the current Trump world that is emerging all around us. And that may not be so easy. Just this week, we had anti-deportation riots in Los Angeles, political assassinations in Minneapolis, Chinese aircraft carriers roaming around the Pacific, and Israeli attacks on Iranian nuclear facilities, followed by Iranian retaliation on Israeli civilians. All of this on top of ongoing war in Ukraine, erratic tariff policies and their impact on the economy, radical DOGE cutbacks that impair functioning of critical government services such as public health and hurricane forecasting, flight control outages, and even a coup d'etat at the Kennedy Center. All this turmoil with no end in sight has exhausted Main Street Americans. While the public mostly approves of his policies to deport illegal aliens, especially criminals, Mr. Trump's actual deportation policies are especially harsh and designed to generate the numbers of deportations that his MAGA base has been clamoring for, even if it disrupts neighborhoods and damages the economy. His focus on mass deportations from sanctuary cities makes it clear that these actions are primarily political. The reaction of leaders of the Democratic Party, such as J.B. Pritzker, is to try and inflame their progressive left base by fighting and resisting every action by the president, even if it brings the country to a standstill. Their No Kings demonstrations were massive, but pointless. The impotency of the protesters just increases their rage. Meanwhile, President Trump has surrounded himself with useful idiots, TV personalities, mostly from Fox, and trial lawyers and others with no expertise in the fields that they have been chosen to lead. Mr. Trump rightfully complained about DEI in academia and the lack of thought diversity in elite universities. But then he has appointed sycophants and yes men and yes women to his administration, whose only function is to try and incorporate as closely as possible Trump thought across all sectors of the government. The slightest sign of disloyalty to the president and his agenda results in immediate dismissal. One might think it a dark and dangerous version of DEI. But DEI was dark and dangerous as well. Remember that the combination of matter and antimatter is annihilation. The MAGA base has even called for a boycott of Walmart because one of the heiresses of the Walmart fortune ran an anti-Trump ad in the New York Times, even though she has no role at the company. That's the MAGA equivalent of keying Teslas that were bought by Democrats back when Elon Musk was favored by the left. And in the middle of all this Sturm und Drang, one sees President Trump reviewing his troops on his birthday, smiling with his chin stuck out, doing his best to imitate Mussolini. With all the chaos swirling around him, he is calm and confident in the eye of the hurricane. Donald Trump is an agent of change. He intends to leave not just the United States, but the entire world a very different place from what it was when he was elected. But the forces he is unleashing may exceed his ability to control them. The intended and unintended consequences of his actions will fall on us and our families. We must be prepared. Thanks for watching. Links to source material used in preparing this podcast can be found on my website, www.edificeoftrust.com.